Exogenous ketones kind of sounds like erogenous. No, it's not that. You'll find out in this video. I'm talking with Dr. Neil Palvin today, a New York City-based functional medicine doctor. He's very well respected. We're going to talk about exogenous ketones, what they are, if there's side effects, how you should use them, how they can help your brain and your body. That and so much more right here. You ready for it? Let's dive in. Exogenous ketones. It sounds rather exogenous, Dr. Paul. What are we talking about today?
I like these lead-ins. Exogenous ketones are have become a derived product of ketones, usually BHB, which is what people produce when they're on either they're fasting or they're on the keto diet.
Mm-hmm.
They found, wait a sec, all these people have more brain clarity, they have energy, they're decreased inflammation. Can we literally bottle that and give to people who aren't fasting or on the keto diet, and they've been able to a certain degree, and it has some pretty good benefits to it.
Okay, so people, do they have to be on keto to be taking this, or is it a little more beneficial?
No, it's the opposite. You don't have to be at all. You could be eating your Doritos in one hand and your exogenous ketone bottle in the other hand. It's all good.
Okay.
Well, not
all
really.
Right. So, yeah, right. I mean, shouldn't, but I get the analogy. So when you're taking these, like, what's going to happen right away? Like, people, we've got all these like miracle things now, and to a lot of your point and other things that we've talked about, and people can see those videos, but there are a lot of things now that almost seem too good to be true that are coming out that really like seem like they could be beneficial. When you're taking exogenous ketones, like, what are you going to expect?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that people will feel are, first is a pretty bad taste. They haven't fixed that part yet. They don't taste the best. So you may want to put in your smoothie, but the benefits you're going to see initially are energy, and definitely some brain clarity. A lot of people feel more focused on it. They may be more attentive. Some people will say they feel more joint pain. Usually it's more after using it for a period of time. Athletic performance, if you're an endurance athlete, if you're a sprinter or something like trying to think, like a quick twitch type athlete,
Mm-hmm.
not as much. It may actually hinder performance, we're finding now.
Okay. Is that because it's messing with the mTOR pathway? Is there anything?
Partly, yeah.
Yeah.
Without having to go draw diagrams and flow charts, but yeah.
Okay.
They just find that it also stimulates. It causes some inflammation, mTOR and AMPK, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So for speed athletes, it's not as good. But for marathon runners, cyclists, it does help potentially.
Okay. What if you're a bodybuilder, you're trying to put on muscle tissues? Is this something you should stay away from?
It's not going to help a lot. It's not definitely designed not to put on muscle.
Mm-hmm.
It may help the only way it may really help, it may help with inflammation a little bit. So if that's an issue with you putting on muscle, but that part's not really jived yet.
Okay. What if somebody, and just thinking of a protocol here, right? Let's say you do 4 or 5 days a week lifting. Could you take those on your off days? Would that make sense?
Yeah, that you could do. That's why I have patients do. That would get the benefits of any type of interference with your anabolic days. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when I was interviewing David Sinclair, he was saying that he wouldn't take metformin on days that he was actually lifting.
Saying that it damages muscle. Metformin now has become, we know it can cause irritation or inflammation or damage the muscle. So you're kind of doing opposite things. So yeah. That's ketones fall in that same thing. That's why there's 3 or 4 things we know really help build the muscle. Otherwise you want to kind of keep things clean.
Okay, and people, I sometimes, like I've said before, sometimes I got to ask some obvious questions because people will ask me some things on the comments. But what about stacking with this? Because we talked about the methylene blue, and there's NAD, and there's like, is this something that you can stack with that sort of stuff, or just too much?
No, you definitely could stack. Some of the companies are starting to do that. It's very individual. I mean, a lot of common stacks we're seeing are Exogenous ketones with MCT oil, which for patients who are using for brain and inflammation. We're seeing people put in some vitamins with it, like B6, B12, carnitine. There was a product, I can't think of the name of it anymore because it sold out, and now they're not remaking it anymore for a while. From Ketone Aid that had those vitamins in it. It's kind of a workout or energy product, which I liked it. It gave me a lot of energy plus the ketone benefits. So yeah, it plays well in the sandbox
Mm.
with a lot of those types of things. Again, it's the only one thing I would say not to do, like I said, is really, I mean, in terms of high, really, really high intense workouts. But beyond that, I mean, it plays well.
Okay. And is this putting you into ketosis as well?
There are some people who go into ketosis with it. You got to use your trusty keto monitor and see where you are. I mean, I know there's people who will like. I respond really quickly with it,
Hmm.
and I know I will go in. There's other people who barely or don't. It depends on a lot of different things. Obviously, it depends on what your diet is normally. Are you fasting at all? And the other piece is what's called metabolic flexibility, which has become more and more popular. Is your body's ability to go between carbs and fat
Hmm.
burning. Um, and if your metabolic flexibility is not good, and you can't use ketones or burn your or not a good fat burner, then the ketones may become an issue too. And then you just somebody this is the people who have to continue eating because they feel hungry because their insulin's going really high and then crashing, and they're carb burners and they're in trouble. But otherwise, in most cases, patients will go into ketosis.
Okay. What
At least
about
to some degree.
fasting? Is this going to break a fast? Is it going to help a fast?
It depends on which product you're using. There's not big debate, but there's a little kind of brand competition there. I know Ketone Aid will maintain ketosis usually. The other brands that are out there, it depends which version they're using. Sometimes it'll knock you out.
All right, Doc. I appreciate it. Where can people find you?
They can find me on my website, doctor spelled out and Paulvin, PAULVIN.com, and my Instagram is drpaulvin.